Hey everyone, I had a cold during my live stream, but I'm feeling a little bit better now. Oh, and I might as well let everyone formally know that as a result of daylight savings times coming into effect in America, I'll be mostly streaming Gundam Breaker Mobile on Wednesday morning again, strictly then because the update just doesn't always reliably come during the night, and honestly I'm too tired in the evenings lately anyway. I'll probably still do some evening live streams when I can make the time, just because a lot more people show up to those, but for now I don't know when that will be. Alright, so here's the quick news of the week. Gundam Evolution is starting to become a very hot topic in the community. Apparently they're currently doing server tests, and there's currently open enrollment from now until about March 28th for the Steam PC version. Now there's going to be a test of the console version after that, and based on the current timeline, I want to say that unless something goes catastrophically wrong during these tests, I think the game should be out by May or June at this current rate of pace. It's confirmed to be released this year anyway. I'm just curious about this game, but I'm not thinking I'm gonna get it. It's definitely built to be a fast-paced first-person shooter, and that's kind of not really my thing. Also, along with the testing, they've also added the Gundam Anksha and the Unicorn version of the Mera side of the game. And weirdly, even though the game is not officially out, even in a testing state, I'm finding a lot of YouTubers who are playing it and straight up making guides for it, acting like it's out, which very much confuses me. Are they letting YouTubers beta test this game? What the hell is going on? Anyway, I'm trying to play it while it's still free to play. Next up, in mysterious news, Bandai Namco is investing $130 million to create a Build Divers-esque Gundam metaverse. This tied in with the news of the recent Gundam scanner is pretty inspiring that holy shit, Bandai is literally trying to make Build Divers a reality, and wow, we can live in that world. That'd be really nuts. Anyway, for the time being, no one knows exactly what this is going to be, but it looks like it's some kind of Gundam MMORPG, which is good enough. Lastly, in semi-local news, the Bandai Gunpla Fair, which was previously only in LA's Little Tokyo shopping district, has thankfully made it over to the East Coast Mitsuyo Japantown Shopping Center, which is in driving distance of where I live. Now, the event is running for an uncertain amount of time, possibly just this week. I'm going to see if I can try to check it out this weekend if it's still running by then. Unfortunately, the event seems to only be occurring between 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., despite the fact that the shopping district itself is usually open till like 8 or 9 at night. All the same, since that clashes with my schedule too much, I'm going to check it out on the weekend, as long as it's still there by this weekend. By the way, as I'm looking more into this event, it seems that they're actually holding it in like literally any state where there's a large enough Japanese population. So that includes like Chicago, Texas, Santa Monica, a few other places. Look into it if you really want to buy some Gunpla models. It's a good event. Oh, and one more thing people want me to mention. Bandai is finally releasing an HGAC rebuild of the Shenlong Gundam from Gundam Wing. This is the first new model of that suit in over 20 years, and with it there are now new models of all 5 of the main Gundams from the first series and of that series. I think the model looks awesome, but Ultron Nitaku was my favorite, so I guess I'll wait for that one. Alright, let's talk about Gundam Breaker Mobile now. So on that side of things, there's a bunch of trash banners this week for a bunch of old suits that, you know, they're cool, they're headlining this week, but I already have them all, so I don't care. There's also a new altered element Gundam Harut, which I just straight up don't care about. Instead, this week I went all in on the Gundam Mk-3. The Gundam Mk-3 is a badass mobile suit from Zeta Gundam Variations. The Mk-3 is an upgrade Gundam Mk-2 created by the AUG that was stolen from the Titans, encompasses all the coolest parts of the Gundam Mk-2, the Zeta, and the Hakushiki. There was also a red Quattro custom Gundam Mk-3 that Quattro probably never used. And also, due to Anaheim sharing the design around, there was also the EFSS Gundam Mk-3 Eagly, a minor variation with a different code number which resembles more of a classic Gundam paint scheme, and there's also the Transforming Titans Gundam Mk-3 Halpule, which kind of resembles the Gapland and transforms into a very Zeta Gundam style Wave Rider. Anyway, in terms of the meta in Gundam Breaker Mobile, the Gundam Mk-3 is just kind of so-so, but in terms of the best parts are the backpack, the head, and the legs. I did 6 pulls and got 4 parts. I got the torso, the arms, the backpack, and the beam saber. So yeah, I can confirm the back part is the best part of what I got. But yeah, if you pull on this, it should be okay. The pulls come with Mark Material Alpha, and then the charity suit this week is the Anksha, the bastard child of the Ashamar and the Jegan. Now in this game, they've laid the paint job a little bit more so the Jegan parts stand out more, and you can clearly see that they're Jegan parts. So it's kind of more blatant about what it is. In the original design, the Jegan parts were painted in a darker green, so It looked like more of an original unit. All the same, I'm a major fan of the Anksha because it legitimizes the Ashimar design, mass produces it, and solves all the issues with it. And it's such a throwback to the Zeta era design that I just absolutely love it. It's a pretty strong and capable shooter in the game, so it's pretty good in terms of stats and just competently being a good charity unit. Lastly, there was a new battle circuit this week, and surprisingly, it was actually pretty challenging. Now, I need to severely warn everyone about the acid round. About halfway through the circuit, there's an acid round where they team up the slow charge quality and the acid quality to make a pretty evil combo. Now, it took me 3 tries to beat the stage because I had to realize, because of the acid effect that was in play, you only have precisely 25 seconds to clear the stage before you would die of the acid. And yeah, that acid round really made me flinch. To beat the acid round, I ended up having to build a hardcore speed melee round because slow charge effect just prevented me from using a speed shooter efficiently, and I had to get in there with like instant death moves. Other than that, it was a pretty easy and fun battle circuit, but I definitely stumbled a little bit because I was fighting off a cold. Anyway, that's about it for Gundam and Gundam Breaker Mobile this week. Definitely check out the battle circuit if you've been ignoring it for a while. This is probably the most interesting one they've run in weeks. And yeah, the Gundam Mk-3 is awesome, the Anksha is awesome, and those rerun suit banners are there if you missed them before. Alright, good night everybody. See you next week.